DJ Maka, bomba
yeah. Marvelous, summer, chosa. No boy can't tell me to run back, no things I know we that. Can't take but no finger feed that. Boy said I'm a step and me no believe that. Man coming here, the whole world can't see that. Me make time, me no take time. Boy claim say them bad, then step cross. Them no bad get, them get soft vaccine. Eat boy food like breakfast. Real quenga, real quenga. Real bad man, genuine like leather. Real quenga, real quenga. On the battlefield, you nah go run left your brother. It's the thugs, them not try that. Better avoid that. Be a tough talk coming, we no fear guy chat. Left boy face like the apple on the iMac. Me and me browning with tie knot. Why not? Revenge sweeter than sugar, ask mine not. Anybody the queen of them want we a find that. One bag of nice, look how much kind drop. Them a no Macintosh figgy eye chat. Bono. Me make talk, me no take talk. Boy claim say them bad, then step cross. Them no bad get, them get soft vaccine. Eat boy food like breakfast. Real quenga, real quenga. Real bad man, genuine like leather. Real quenga, real quenga. On the battlefield, you nah go run left your brother.
No play, the quenga them not straight. No be no wrong fit on night in a day. No afraid for paint a blue sky in a grey.
Hey real, me make talk, me no take talk. Boy claim say them bad, then step cross. Them no bad get, them get soft vaccine. Eat boy food like breakfast. Real quenga, real quenga. Real bad man, genuine like leather. Real quenga, real quenga. On the battlefield, you nah go run left your brother. It's the thugs, them not try that. Better avoid that. Be a tough talk coming, we no fear like that. Left boy face like the
we crazy. Badness turn up when time the alien them they step out. 90s they no bad like we. What them talking about? Better than them, them so pussy boy, me gotta than them. Came out in view, send the buffer make them. Bala make it escape, the man them a sound, shoot on his son. Who open the ground, make the demons come out. But them fly out, soul a guitar. Boy just see ghosts, let the sonar send out. Jana. We crazy. Badness turn up when time the alien then they step out. 90s they no bad like we. What them talking about? Yeah, from the band. We crazy. Badness turn up when time the alien them they step out. 90s they no bad like we. What them talking about? Better than them, them so pussy boy, me gotta than them. Came out in view, send the buffer make them. Bala make it escape,
your pussy pretty titty like a convertible. The interior comfortable. Your pussy pretty titty like a convertible. And if you pull me temper so, your pussy no up, no look a rub down. What a body hot and the summer just done. If me get your body, me visa no turn down. Wind up your body, baby. The S-class never ready. Me make it drop top of touch ground. She see the E pull up, she just come. The share of the man with the animals run. Cause the body they a shot.
Next me say, bad cartel I represent GG Everfast once again.
Your pussy good up to pussy clad. Tell a boy say you wanna uncat. Your boom boom full of prestige like me new brand Benz get up hard. Your pussy good, your pussy good, your pussy bad girl. Your pussy anti come in and me top girl. It like a convertible, girl. The interior comfortable. Your pussy pretty titty like a convertible, girl. And if you pull me temper so, girl, your pussy no up, no look a rub down. What a body hot and the summer just done. If me get your body, me visa no turn down. Wind up your body, baby. The S-class never ready. Me make it drop top of touch ground. She see the E pull up, she just come. The share of the man with the animals run. Cause the body they a shot.
Next me say, bad cartel I represent GG Everfast once
Your pussy good up to pussy clad. Tell a boy say you wanna uncat. Your boom boom full of prestige like me new and Benz to the top half. Your pussy good, your pussy good, your pussy fat gal. Your pussy hotty coming like me top gal. Your pussy good, your pussy good, your pussy fat gal. Your pussy hotty coming like me top. Your pussy pretty titty like a convertible gal. The interior comfortable. Your pussy pretty titty like a convertible gal. And me talk cool, me temper so gal. Your pussy no up, no rock a rock down. What a body hot and the summer just done. If me get your body, me please and no turn down. Wind up your body, baby. Pretty titty like a convertible gal. The interior comfortable. Your pussy pretty titty like a convertible gal. And me talk cool, me temper so gal. Your pussy no up, no rock a rock down. What a body hot and the summer just done. If me get your body, me please and no turn down. Wind up your body, baby. The S-class job already. Me make the job top of touch ground. She see the E pull up, she just come. The share of the man with the anonymous run. Got the body they are shut up.
Nice to see me, say bad start till I represent GGF across once again.
Your pussy good up to pussy clad. Tell a boy say you wanna uncat. Your boom boom full of prestige like me new brand Benz to the top half. Your pussy good, your pussy good, your pussy fat gal. Your pussy hotty coming like me top gal. Your pussy good, your pussy good, your pussy fat gal. Your pussy hotty coming like me top. Your pussy pretty titty like a convertible gal. The interior comfortable. Your pussy pretty titty like a convertible gal. And me talk cool, me temper so gal. Your pussy no up, no rock a rock down. What a body hot and the summer just done. If me get your body, me please and no turn down. Wind up your body, baby. The S-class job already. Me make the job stop a touch gun. She see the E pull up, she just come.
Like me new brand Benz with the top half.
Your pussy good, your pussy good, your pussy fat gal. Your pussy hotty coming like me chop top gal. Your pussy good, your pussy good, your pussy fat gal. Your pussy hotty coming like me chop. Your pussy pretty titty like a convertible gal. The interior comfortable. Your pussy pretty titty like a convertible gal. And it a cool me temper so gal. Your pussy no up, no rock a rock down. What a body hot and the summer just done. If me get your body, me visa no turn down. Wind up your body, baby. The S-class job already. Me make the job top a touch ground.
Anywhere me go, clean stamp, clean stamp. And anywhere me go, first stamp, 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 stamp. Clean stamp. And anywhere me go, first stamp, first stamp. None of my shoes, them not cheap like food stamp, food stamp. So anywhere me go, clean stamp, clean stamp. Me never dream it. You are young thugs, them trait never lean it. Feel me Levi jeans are the realest. Watch out, Ian's white tees are the cleanest. When unruly gang walk through, yeah, girl I said them want be my beau. I tell me the freaky thing them can do. Say our boyfriend permit cancel. So anywhere me go, clean stamp, clean stamp. And anywhere me go, first stamp, first stamp. Sure. None of my shoes them not cheap like food stamp, food stamp. So anywhere me go, clean stamp, clean stamp. Sure. Them call me Fresh Prince of the Wheel, not the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But just style, yeah. To owe me cologne, them a kick every haters face to be real. Watch ya know, me shoes them no boy can't give me peel. Me don't tell us say, man pants we no wear. Plus me clocks authentic like the skin them pan a polar beer. So, anywhere me go, clean stamp, clean stamp. And anywhere me go, first stamp, first stamp. Sure. None of my shoes them not cheap like food stamp, food stamp. So anywhere me go, clean stamp, clean stamp. Treat. Me never green yet. You are young thugs, them trait never lean yet. Feel me Levi jeans are the realest. Watch out, Ian's white tees are the cleanest. When unruly gang walk through, yeah, girl I said them want be my beau. I tell me the freaky thing them can do. Say our boyfriend permit cancel. So anywhere me go, clean stamp, clean stamp. And anywhere me go, first stamp, first stamp. Sure. None of my shoes them not cheap like food stamp, food stamp. So anywhere me go, clean stamp, clean stamp. True. Anywhere me go, clean stamp, clean stamp. And anywhere me go, First stamp, first stamp. Sure. None of my shoes, them not cheap like food stamp. Food stamp. So anywhere me go, clean stamp, clean stamp. Sure.
I said dance and praise. I said dance and praise. Dance and job like me again. Job every darkness every day. I say job very light every day. Job very light every day. Job very rain for the light for the sun. I do it every day. Job like you make me feel wake. Job very girls let me touch. Job very like me again. Job very like me again. You put in my day. The girl you come and put in my life. The woman you have put in my height. Job very like you feel good. Job very like you feel good.
DJ MAKA, bomba.